Good afternoon and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Celtic have just lost to Hearts at Celtic Park. And not a result that many of us actually expected, but it's a result that happened. It hasn't done too much damage in the league when you look at it, but the, there are little signs that we went through this before. This was the result with Hearts on the 31st of July under Ange Postecoglou. And the Celtic fans then thought that the man from Australia that came from Japan would never do anything at Celtic. He had a bad run of results for his first 5 games and then turned it around. Can Wilfred Nancy win over the Celtic fans? I'm doing a poll on this already to see if this man can turn it around. I need to change that screen. Let's just do this. The light's terrible tonight. Let's light up. So can Wilfred Nancy turn it around? Let's jump straight into the comment section because that's where all the fun will take place tonight. I'm just going to leave that there because there's nobody that can take the piss out of us more than ourselves, and we could dish it out, and I'm not letting them have the better of us by taking the piss out of us. I think that we can, if we're going to do it, we'll do it ourselves. And this is Wilfred Nancy playing with his whatever. Let me just swap screens so that it's a bit better. Put this over here. Put this over here. Oh. What is wrong with this tonight? There we go. Pull that over there. And we'll put this over here so that the screen is a bit better. There we go. Put that there. And the comments there. The magnetic board of Nancy. Well, there is one way to look at it. If this is the type of thing, if we have to Wilfred nonsense today. Wilfred nonsense today. Make sure that you give your consent. Terrible management to switch formation. It's a weird one, isn't it? Did he make 200 changes? He needs to understand the players' capabilities. Yeah. We had enough chances to win that game. Yeah, we did have enough chances to win the game. I mean, when you look at the stats of the game, Celtic should have won the game comfortably. The chances that Hearts had, they took their chances. Celtic had 14 shots on goal, 5 on target. Hearts had 4 shots on goal, 4 at target. Dice Maeda should have had 2 goals. Johnny Kenny heads the ball into the keeper's hands. Kieran Tierney strikes the back of the net, fantastic strike. Luke McCowan hits it over the bar. Rio Hitati hits the crossbar. Come on, there's small margins. There are small margins, and if it does, there's one way to look at it. It's either going to be a case of the new manager will come in and he'll turn this around. He'll implement things so that the team turn around. I'm not worried about any team behind us. I mean, when you look at the Rangers are on 26 points. Can we get the league table up? Let's see if we can just do this. There's the league table there. When you look at the league table tonight, Hearts will be loving it. They're top of the table. Fair play to them. 19 goals scored. 35 points. Played a game more than us. They have played that game more, so if we win our game in hand, we go level on points with them. It's all to play for. It makes it a bit more exciting. And if it does take a couple of games, I think what's disappointing for us today was the fact that if, when you look at the run that Hearts has been on, drawn 2 games, lost a game, drawn a game, then won today. Celtic had been on a fine run and we lost a game. We lose a game. We always we always drop points in December. Always. Look at last December. We lost 2 games in December back to back under Brendan Rodgers. So when it comes to it, still think the Huns will beat them. Whole question should be Baz. You're asking me, will he win us over? Well, will he win the fans over? Can he win the fans over? I think can and will are similar type of things, but yeah, maybe it should be will he win the fans over? God, I'm just going to that page. Where is it? There we go. The league. Fucking swap this. This is fucking 2 screens. Was meant to put a stop to this nonsense. Right, let's get it back onto that and then just keep it on the one screen. So there, yeah, that is the table live. When you look at it, can he win the fans over? Oh, John the truck driving legend said the only positive he was would have seen who's capable and who isn't with his system. For the first 40 minutes, we've seen what his football would be like, and it was decent. Exactly. And that's why John the truck driving legend is the legend it is. Let's me get this on. There we go. Yes, I'm all with you. That the first 35 minutes, I was ecstatic with the way we were playing. Do you know the first 35 minutes of the game? I don't think that there was anybody that was saying, this manager's guff. The goal was against the run of play. As soon as they scored, Hearts were playing with 5 at the back anyway. You know, people are saying, well, we're terrible in the final third. Yeah, we were terrible in the final third. We should have put away a number of the chances that we did. We didn't. There lies the big issue. You know, for them to have only 4 shots, 3 on target, and to score 2 goals, Daizen Maeda not putting the chance away, Rio Hitati hitting the crossbar, Johnny Kenny header into the arms of the goalkeeper, should have put it in the back of the net. Luke McCowan scoring, flying one over the line, over the crossbar. All these chances need to count at this level, at any level. Do you know? And this isn't something new. We're not talking about something new that's happened here. We're not talking about something that Martin O'Neill could have sorted. We've known that these are problems that any manager would need to sort. So, you know, more chance of a 0-0 game under his style of play. Ooh. Who was Celtic's best player today? Oh, I would I would say Callum, and he was played out of position. I would say Callum, and he played out of position. But other than that, I can't think of anyone who. The problem doesn't lie on this manager. You know, we're giving him. I mean, this nonsense that he came in with today with this board during the game. I mean, where is the picture? I mean, this was just crazy. This has given me the fear. And if he's going to manage Celtic like this, he will not last. He needs to get rid of the board. If this is how he's going to try and put his team across, God help us, we're in trouble. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And as much as that pains me, I think giving him the benefit of the doubt till players really understand the way that he wants us to play. Because, I mean, you look at that there. He's got. Do you know what's wrong with his tactics board? Is that he's got Hearts with 4 at the back. And Hearts didn't play with 4 at the back. Hearts played with 5 at the back. So right away, you can pick out faults with his tactics board. And you can see what we're trying to do. And why he's got us playing in fucking in blue, I'll never know. Oh, I've just realised if I scroll out, that gets bigger. Oh, there we go. We'll keep that up there. because this kind of nonsense, and rightly so. We're getting slated for it online. Playing Connect Four. We said it. We spoke about it before the game about the fact that if we couldn't understand his lineup, maybe Hearts couldn't understand his lineup. Um, it went a bit further than that, and he got out the little tiny tactics boards. And I think the biggest part of the game was when Sky Television went to Paul Tisdale, and Paul Tisdale's going, he's got his eyes shut, thinking, I'm going to get fucking sacked because of this prick. And this is what, there's one way to look at it. If this is what it takes, to get rid of him, to get rid of some of the board, then so be it. I look as if I'm disappearing. What's going on with the? There we go. That's better. Um, if this is what it takes to get rid of people on the board and Tisdale, etc., do you know? Maybe this is the process that we have to go through. We went through it in the 1990s. Do you know? We got in crap managers in the 1990s, and it ultimately, and I fucking hope it doesn't go like that. But if this is what it does take to get, are you prepared? There's the poll question: are you prepared to go through this process as Celtic fans to lose a season, to play with a manager that isn't up there, and are you prepared to take the hit to ultimately then win win the war against the against the board, because that's what it is. It's the war against the board that a lot of people are saying is the big thing. Do you know? So are you willing to go through this process? Can the manager turn around? There's so many questions that need asked after tonight. Was he the right appointment? Some people will say no, but can he win the fans over? Did we see enough in the first 45 minutes to suggest that if he gets the players in, if the players listen to him, can the players then turn it round? Or is it the fact that Paul Tisdale is the man that's really at fault at everything at Celtic? And where does that then leave us? Where does it leave us going forward? And where does it leave us within the recruitment phase? Do you know, we're going to go into this window, and if Paul Tisdale is the man that's picking out players for us in the next transfer window, then we're fucked. We're well and truly fucked. But the fact that Ange Postecoglou came in and went through a similar phase of losing games, of not having the fans on his side, and then he turned it around and won a double. As the Pony Boy says, goals win games. Yeah, they do win games. But 14 shots on goal against 4 shots on goal. It tells us that we need better finishers. We need strikers. And this isn't something new. So all we've done is put a stick in. When Martin O'Neill come in, all we did is put a feel good plaster. Do you know? Feel good plaster and some take the money for Maeda and Shitati and run. Yeah, I think so. How can Martin break down? Fuck this up. I just heard Nancy's interview. Urgency. We had none. We had it the first half, but anyway. New manager in the door on Thursday. 3 layers of slating him. Embarrassing. Yeah. But that's the way that football is. Bad passing screwed up our game today. Yep. A proven striker is resting on the bench. Is Kelechi Iheanacho the person you're talking about? Or is it Shin Yamada? Shin Yamada isn't proven in Scottish football. Do you know? And It goes to, how bad is Shin Yamada in training? Engels had an open goal. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. There were so many chances today. But anyway, never mind. Nancy winning. Jesus. What the fuck is his formation? I've no idea what his formation is, to be honest. Hearts were lucky. We never took our chances. We'll still win. Yeah, it's always bad when we lose a game at Celtic. But I did say that we always lose. We always lose. Sack the magnetic board. Yeah, he needs to do that. He needs to do that straight away. Red, white, and blue as well. Oh God. Yeah, let's get rid of that off the screen because it's just embarrassing more than anything, is it? Yang was there and it's pretty decent at times. Yeah, but is that not admitting how far we've come back? How far we've regressed as a team? Do you know that's like saying that the players that Ronnie Dyler had were amazing, but we went through a period of managed decline where we're shy compared to what we were under Brendan Rodgers. And I'm not having a dig at Yang. I'm just saying this is how far our expectation levels have regressed, thinking that Yang's the answer, and he's not. He needs to learn that he's left the MLS with that clipboard nonsense. Yes, he does that. Um, so it's bad to say that the players are shite. We've learned nothing from a real short spell. Rio's got to get to fuck. Rio's pass back. I would like to see the stats on how many pass back that Rio Hitati does in a game. Because it's significant. And he doesn't. I don't know how he manages to stay on for 90 minutes. It's just unbelievable. Yang was wide open most of the first half, was not getting used. Yeah, under Martin O'Neill, he was getting used. That was the difference. Carmack was getting frustrated with the board. Tell me about it. Carmack must have been thinking, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? I can only imagine the team WhatsApp chat tonight. The team WhatsApp chat will be fucking hilarious. Do you know what I mean? It'll be like, look, we need to dig in and try and do it for this guy, until we can get players in. Hearts knew our lineup before our players did. Yeah, I think so. How long will contract given the heebie-jeebies? Yeah, I know you could see right through me. I was just trying to disappear into the background, just disappear altogether. I'm jumping right through the comments. My board is so fucked. The club is in free fall. Something dramatic must happen to go again. Right, Kieran. We were in free fall in the 1990s. We went through various managers that weren't up to it. We went through managers who ultimately it led to the board being changed, the owners being changed. Are you prepared to go through the same again? Are you prepared to go through the fact that, yeah, we might not win things. It might get us people off the boards and get us the change that you want. You're not going to get rid of the owner, but it could get us rid of Lowell, could get us rid of Nicholson, could get us rid of Mackay, could get rid of the man that's meant to be a football genius and a football doctor. And there's one thing that he's not, and that's a football doctor. So can Wilfred Nancy win over the fans? 62% say yes, 38% say no, and there's been 358 votes with over 1,700 people on the live so far. That's fantastic in 20 minutes. 100% says Kieran that he's prepared to go. I would as well, to be honest. If this is what it takes, let's just take it on the chin and ride with it. Do you know? There's no use getting all negative and fucking being pissed off with it. But Sleepy Tisdale can get to fuck. But yeah, if this is what it takes, I fully back the process that we're about to go through, because I lived through it in the 1990s. It can't be any worse than that. We're not going to get rid of the owner, but if they screw it up between now and the end of the season, It's a big if. I still think that the manager can turn it around. We're only 3 points off the top. If we end up down in fifth position, for instance, if we end up away down the league and it gets to the end of the season and the guys had a pure nightmare, we get tanked in Europe, we get beat in the cup, we lose the league, and we end up in fifth position. I think that if that's what it takes to get rid of Peter Lawwell, Michael Nicholson, Chris Mackay, and Paul Tisdale, then so be it. But I don't think that will happen. I don't think it will happen. We knew that we would need to struggle over the month of December. Statistically, we always lose games in December. I've told you that before this guy came in, and still stand it. We should have stopped Fozzie for Strachan. Yes, I think Fozzie getting left out the club. Tisdale asleep, not a good look from the fraud of a man. I think Fozzie not being at the club is a big disappointing for me. Obviously, Sean Maloney is still at the club in his pathway position. I hope Celtic haven't come out and told us any different. Terrible time of season to bring in a manager regardless. 3 managers by January would disrupt any team. It would. But then look at the injury list. We're not playing. We've not got our best players in. You've got Jota, Cameron Carter-Vickers. You've got Alistair Johnson. 3 top players. But anyways, Fozzie's still there. No, Fozzie left the club, I believe. Celtic haven't come. Well, he wasn't on the bench today, so you could say that he's left the club, and I think it's a great loss to Celtic. Let's talk about Kasper Schmeichel. Because could he have done anything for the first goal? I don't think so. He's positioning a bit wrong. Could he have done anything for the second? Does he command his box? Dermot Desmond's shareholder, don't call it owner, inflates his ego. Okay, majority shareholder. He runs the club. It's fucking. I'm not going to get into this nonsense. He's not the owner. I'm not arguing with people that he's not the owner. He runs the club. We're not going to get rid of him. I've said this before. Until someone comes out and puts their head above the parapet and says, I'm going to invest whatever it takes to own 5% shares, 2% shares more than Dermot Desmond. We are not getting rid of him. The best that we can hope for is for us to go through a shit season, for us to have a complete nightmare, for Dermot then to go, do you know what? You fucked us up. Tisdale, you're fired. Lawwell, you're fired. Nicholson, you're fired. He has to be, he's the one that will make that shout. Do you know what I mean? And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I don't think it will happen, but he's the man that runs the club, whether you like it or not. I know he's not the owner, but he runs the club. So I'll call him whatever the fuck I want. Don't care. Anyway, we need Jota back. We do that. Whether running the final or not, I still don't understand why Martin O'Neill was given the final. Literally one more week. All Kasper Excelson these days is going Tonto. Yeah. This needs to be last. It is Kasper's last season. And I don't think that Kasper, I mean, he was a fantastic keeper in his time and he's had a great career, but he's not Joe Hart. He's not got the physicality of Joe Hart. He's not got the pace of Joe Hart. And I think Sinisalo must be sitting on the bench thinking, what have I to do to get a game? Kasper's got good experience in the dressing room, but lately I feel as if his performance has slipped. Sinisalo would be my first choice. I've been saying it since before the cup final back in May, but he's the man that's in the sticks. It's one game, man. We've got one game in hand. We win that, we'll be back to the points again. For fuck's sake, sick of this shit. We get it together. It's Celtic fans. It's what we do. For Nancy to win us over, he's going to have a massive heart and balls to handle the pressure. Well, I don't know about massive heart and balls, but the one thing that he's going to have to get rid of is playing with his little brick set, and definitely this thing needs to go. When I saw this, my heart sank. I will be honest. When I was watching the game and I seen him bring out this, I thought, what the hell's he doing? What is he doing? Because I don't think I've ever seen a. I think I've maybe seen one manager do it in a World Cup, but I don't think I've seen a manager in a top league. Scotland's not a top league. I don't think that I've seen any manager bring out a little tactical board the way that he did, and then get the skipper over during the game. You know, but it is what it is. Strachan celebrating with Devlin is unacceptable. Did he? Did Strachan really celebrate with Devlin? He needs sacked for that. If he did, that's to me that's a sackable offence. If Nancy gets a few defeats, it's going to be like watching Brendan Rodgers at press conferences. It's going to be worse than that. Anybody writing off the manager after one game when our players miss sitters after sitter after sitter, need to give up supporting incoming treble. Strachan's a snake. Baz, does he need to simplify it and go to a 4-4-2 until we get a proper squad back? That's an interesting one. Does he go to a 4-4-2? I think we played better when we had two strikers. I don't think that the three at the back was the issue. I think that for as good as, like, you had Yang, had an absolutely brilliant game, and then he would fucking have a terrible pass. And you're thinking, oh, it's just Yang. That's how far we've come down. Rio Hatate, getting the ball and passing it backwards. Rio Hatate wouldn't do that under Martin O'Neill. Why did he revert to doing it today? Why did Rio Hatate costs us, when you look at it from gaining position on pitch? Rio Hatate once again was in that mood where he turns around and he kicks the ball back to the defenders. Callum McGregor's getting played out of position on the right hand side. The manager then changed Callum McGregor back over to the left hand side. And Calmark's bound to be thinking, fuck me, man. But anyway, give William Nancy time, and the atmosphere today was poor again. Yeah, but that's. Listen, people that go to games, they're entitled to sing or not to sing. I asked the question before this game today, I asked it the other night, will the fans back the manager the way that they did Martin O'Neill for his last game? And everyone said yes. And I was like, I bet they don't. It's the way that the Celtic supporter is just now. You know, they'll not back this manager until he earns the right to be backed. And that's what's difficult about the situation. A primary school teacher used these kind of boards to teach 7-year-olds maths. Yeah, did that. Martin O'Neill should have been given the job till January. Is January too late? Who then picks? Right, Celtic Samurai Blue. Who then picks the incoming players? Who decides the players that comes in the next transfer window if he was given the job to January and then another manager comes in? Because that's too late. And that light's just switched itself off. Probably better staying off. Staying off for good. I mean, who then picks the? Who then picks the players that's going to come in January? Because there's one thing, Nancy's going to have to pick players that he thinks can fit his system. If you bring a manager in the 1st of January, he doesn't know the squad, he doesn't know how good the players are going to be, and he doesn't know what positions he needs players for. All putting a manager in, bringing a manager in January does is delay things. I still stand by the board of bringing him in now. Because if at least he fucks it up between now and January, he gets players in. If he fucks it up after January, there's people need to go. Heads need to be hung. Gavin Strachan needs to go. Gavin Strachan should have been out way before. Out of his depth, not looking forward to this. Ooh, be better playing Connect 4. Roma plays chess, Celtic play Connect 4. Nancy will be humiliated with that pathetic tactical board, and rightly so. Yeah, rightly so. Um, I hope he never brings it out again because the media. I hope he doesn't read the papers. I hope he doesn't read the papers because I tell you one thing, he'll get absolutely slated within the papers. Cheers, Johnny Cassie, for your super chat. Um, Rightly so, he should get slated. Bringing on a tactical board in Scottish football like that at the side of the pitch, you're just thinking, what are you doing, mate? But it is only one game. It is only one game in, and when you look at the league table, it's not too bad. We're still in there. Listen, if this is us at our worst, I don't want USA tactics in football. Simple. Martin O'Neill should have been given it until the end of the season. But that is papering over the cracks. Yeah, it is, David. It's papering over the crack with the boards. Yeah, exactly. We'd rather find out now what the players that we need rather than trying to figure it out in January, which I think would be too late. So anyway, I just jumped through this. Don't understand the hate for the tactical boards. That's how he communicates. His English is not his first language. And did you not watch the interview when Alistair Johnson said that his English is way better? So Alistair Johnson says that his English is improved. So I don't know. Joe, thanks for the super chat. I'll have a coffee on you. I'll probably have something to soothe my throat, to be honest. I'm going to need to stop shouting as much during the games, doing the watch alongs, because it doesn't do my throat any good at all. But mind you, it's just like being at the games. I'd probably be shouting just as much. Let Wilfred Nancy win the cup final and the fans get on board and get momentum. We're still in a good position. And we need to remember that. Yeah, we are in a good position. And I think that, if this is us having a real bad patch, Hearts have had 4 weeks of a. If Hearts go out and lose next week when we're playing the cup final, right? If Hearts go out and lose next week, it'll be, well, there you go. That's the standard of Hearts. And it's just everyone ups their game. We know that everyone ups their game when they play Celtic. Every single team ups a level that you don't see week in, week out. And I think that once we accept that, and let's look to see what they're doing in the next game. We need a centre defensive midfield, we need a right wing, we need a left wing, we need a striker in January. We need 2 defenders in as well, I think, because Cameron Carter-Vickers is out for the season. All we've got is Dane Murray in defence, when you think it like that. Hearts next 3 games: Falkirk away, Sevco home, Hibs. Yeah. I think the win against Falkirk, they'll get beat against Rangers, and Hibs are due them a result as well. Epic game in Connect 4. Calmack versus Nancy. No fancy. Don't forget Jota, CCV are all missing right now. Yeah, exactly. But, win our game in hand, we're equal to them. Keep the faith. Yeah, I mean, it's keep the faith, but it's also a case of we need to score goals. We are not scoring enough goals, and this isn't something new. Although Martin O'Neill got a good results, but we need strikers in. We need 2 strikers in. Dyson Maeda is not an out and out striker. He's a makeshift striker for us. He hasn't been a striker for 2.5 years at Celtic. He was a striker for half a season at Celtic, really, our main striker. He's not the answer. If he leaves in January, like we all expect him to leave in January, we're going to have to bring in 2 strikers. It's The mess hasn't been cleaned up. You know, we went into this game today. It would have been fantastic to win. If we had won it, we'd be over the moon. We'd be sitting top of the league by 3 points with a game in hand. And we'd be thinking that everything was great. And that would have just papered over the cracks. It would have papered over the cracks how bad. Martin O'Neill worked wonders. Martin O'Neill was a magician. You know, Martin O'Neill coming in and doing what he did has been amazing for us. But the same problems that Brendan Rodgers had, the same issues that Brendan Rodgers had, is they're still there. Martin O'Neill's exact words, I had a team of men in my team 25 years ago. This is a team of boys. No physicality. That got shown today again. We are not physical enough, even for a team like Hearts. We weren't physical enough against Midtjylland. Do you know, getting pushed off the ball far too easily. Upper body strength, we just do not have that in our team. We need a big commanding centre midfield player that will take things on. I've got to say, we need a couple of big strikers. But then again, if Johnny Kenny's goal goes in the day, it's a completely different story, right? I'm going to end the poll with 504 votes because we have had quite a lot of votes in, 2,764 people on the live. I'm going to keep on going. Why is no one playing Iheanacho? Because he's not match fit. Kelechi Iheanacho is not match fit. Do you know? Are you being too greedy? I've never seen your comment before that, mate. Apologise. Unless Jota plays wing back or as a 10, he's not getting in this team. I don't know. The manager will have to change things. That's for sure. You better not become Russell Smartin. You better not. I was hoping to go to my bed after the game. Your podcast is the only reason I'm still in your living room. Oh, well, that's you'll get to go shortly, mate. What about the move Tierney to the left? Left wing back and then Scales and bring Rocky back as he's a right footer. I thought that's what he would have done today, but he didn't. He played Tierney in the back three, and listen, he played the players in the position that he did because we've not got enough players in the squad. You know, our squad has been decimated by selling players. Our squad's been decimated by people out injured. I don't think there's another team in Scotland that has so many first team players out injured as what we do. Yang was in good space today and the ball going up the other wing to that useless Tenecti. But then Yang's not the answer. He was good, but he's not the answer. That's it. Goals will come in abundance with Nancy's system. Getting the right players in January. At least we know the money to switch things up. Easy peasy. Yeah, this is two. The next formation. 0-0-0-10. Players took to Martin because his attitude towards them. And why is no one playing Iheanacho? Because he's not match fit after he came back from injury. John Shirley says, my YouTube just crashed. Hopefully we're still online. It just says that things have just crashed there, but we're still online. It's fine. Just get this back up so I could see what's going on in the chat. Going on about Martin O'Neill being 73. Yeah, I'm just jumping into the comments, seeing John Shirley. Baz, first 20 minutes, he's European manager. After that, he left Celtic. Yeah, we did. I think that we did worse than freeze against them, but Mikel Ange Balak Wisha, a waste of 5 million in 2 years worth of scouting. Definitely. I've asked that before. Since Kyogo left, we haven't had a focal point up top. Nope. And it's a shame. It shows you that for 4 years we relied on Kyogo Furiashi and Kyogo Furiashi only, and that shows you for 4 years we've not been squad wise in a brilliant way. Do you know? Just saying. Um, this Nancy man will turn us into Nancy boys by Christmas. Not a chance. Not a chance. Yang's definitely improving. It is, but Yang wanted away, remember, in the last window. Yang went down, and this is why I'm not going to fall in love with Yang, because it could get to the next window, and his agent's still sitting there with a signed contract, burning a hole in his hand, raging at Michael Nicholson, because Yang should have been playing at Birmingham this season. Do you know? So there's a lot of I'm not going to get excited, and then Yang leaves us on the 1st of January because he can't wait to get out of the building. Let's just say that. Unfortunately, the Celtic TV clip looked like the boys confused with the Wi-Fi talking. Yeah. Under Martin, we had Bobo, Mialbi, Valharn, Agath. Yeah, exactly. You know, we had big players. We had big, strong. Didier Agat would run down the wing and would just go boom and push his arm out to an oncoming fullback. He had upper body strength. We've got a bunch of players now that, I mean, Kieran Tierney looks as if he's lost weight. And Jota looks as if he's lost weight. When he's coming back, he's going to need to work on his upper body strength. Our defenders remind me of girls running away for the ball that came near them. Yeah. Sriracha is injured. Yes, Sriracha is injured as well. I don't think will we see him before the end of the season. Is that his Celtic career loan turning in? Hun-like mentality creeping in. Yeah, I think so. Opinionated Glaswegian. I'm going to jump through the comments because there's 592 comments. And it was just one of those days. Yeah, it was one of those days. If you ask me, or those days are gone. Anyway, right, I'm away because my throat is done and dusted. I'm waiting to have some food. I will be back tomorrow morning, as always, to dissect. Christ, Agat is like Ronaldinho compared to Maida. He is, isn't he? Tanetti couldn't cross the road today. No. And hopefully the manager will be able to get to work with the players. The manager's going to have a full week of work to get things sorted out with the players, get them to fully understand, because let's face it, we have a cup final to win next week. But before that, we've got Roma. I don't want to get you too excited, but it's in the Europa. And maybe it will be a bridge too far in Europe for this manager. Anyway, on that note, thank you to the over 3,121 people we've had online. James has just come in with a late super chat. Let's get that one up. James says, this man has as much as a clue as the idiots who run the club. I know it's only his first game in football, but results and not possession performance. Martin know how to get the job done with the team. Yeah, he did. And I think that's the issue that a lot of us fans have this evening, is the fact that Martin O'Neill came in and just did things his way. You know, football isn't a hard game. Maybe this guy's came in and made it harder than what it needed to be. We played some fantastic football for about 38 minutes of the game, and then we got a goal against the run of play. Complete against the run of play. We were terrible defending. When you look at it, the fact that it was Arnie Engels that kept a player on side is absolutely bonkers. Anyway, I shall see you first thing tomorrow morning. Thank you to James for the super chat. Thank you to Joe for the super chat. Thank you to Danny for the super chat, and thanks to John, the truck driving legend, also for the super chats. It's never great when Celtic lose. None of us feel great. Hopefully we'll feel better tomorrow. Yes, Chris is right. We need to give the man a chance. We need to give him time to get players in. We need to give him time to implement his changes. Will he be given time? That is the big, big question. He's going to get until the next transfer window, and let's just see what we can do for there. Hopefully we start picking up results. Hopefully we start winning again. And you never know. Maybe when he goes out and utterly demolishes St Mirren in the cup final. Maybe when he goes out and demolishes them in the cup final, Celtic fans may go, right, that's one in the bag. Let's go forward. As Danny Cassie comes in with another super chat, just to get a big shout out before we all disappear for the evening. Thank you, Danny, for that. And we've got to give him time at the end of the day. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.